once in a while I start filming something and for whatever reason I don't finish it or I don't even start the story. So what you're going to see now are two stories from the road that fit that category. One of them that we start out with is just a moment of being thankful and delivering a load, but really no end to the story. It just kind of ends. The last week has been an awesome week. I've had some low times and I've had some high times. But through it all, I'm thankful for a lot of things. I'm thankful that I have a job. Thankful that I have a truck. I'm thankful that I have customers that I can work for. And they can make money off of me and I can make money off of them. And all of those things make me a better businessman and a better human. The last 30 miles that I'm on is through the countryside like this, and it's almost like it's the dessert for the trip. So I'm thankful for all those things and thankful for this road that I'm on right now, and that as a truck driver I get to see these things every day. All right, we've got crackers. Lots of crackers to be unloaded. All the way from Abilene, Texas. So let's get backed up to a door here and we'll get unloaded. This is our door right here. All right, we're backed in. Now we got to find out where to take the paperwork because I have no idea. While they're unloading, we're going to go get a sandwich. I don't know if you guys want to go. I figured you'd want to, so let's run up to Subway really quick and then we'll connect back up and they won't even know that we were gone. Let's go. Well, dang, we found a good shopping center. Anyway, with the Subway. Right on.
When I'm not out in the truck on the road, I like to be at home and working on my boat, and spending time out on the water. That's what life's really about, having the balance between the two.
At the end of the day, you can find me watching Adventures in Trucking with Indiana Jack.
Stay tuned.
And the other story is kind of a mystery, and it's kind of a mystery to this day, but it's an interesting story nonetheless. You will enjoy it, called He Said, She Said. Now you may wonder why I'm showing this to you. This customer is telling me they're too busy to load me, but there's not a soul here. I'm the only driver here. As far as I can see down there, and then to that way, there isn't a soul here, and they won't load me. I've been here for 3 hours. I don't understand some things sometimes, or the way customers do things. No one would believe me if you guys weren't here with me that this was happening to me. Not a soul would believe me, but I like to show things that drivers go through, and then they come back to home or to their dispatcher and they say, "You'll never believe what happened to me. I went to this customer and they wouldn't load me because they said they were too busy, but there wasn't one other driver here getting loaded." There's not even the sound of a forklift going in some of these trailers here. There's no sound. I can hear the bugs in the background. And some wind and the highway sound, and that's it. "Oh, we're too busy to load you, Jack." "Well, honey," I would say to my wife sitting at the kitchen table, "you will never believe this. I walked into this customer today and they said, 'Have a seat and we'll be right with you.' And I waited for 2.5 hours, and they still didn't help me. I went back up to the window and I said to the lady, 'Are you guys, what's going on? Am I going to be helped?' And she says, 'Well, we're kind of busy right now loading trucks. Yet still there isn't a soul here. No one to load the truck.' No one would believe me if you guys weren't here with me right now. But it's the truth." Yay, here comes a truck. Someone to talk to. Let's see what happens with him. It's a good old Warner. I gotta go back into the air conditioning. Well, here's what's happened. There's a problem with the order now, so I'm leaving my trailer here. I'm going to go up to Flying J and stay and come back in the morning, and hopefully it'll be done. They'll have their problem solved. The brokers are being really good about this. It's not a broker issue. It's something wrong with their internal problem here. Even the Warner guy is having trouble, so no reason to stay here and get upset or anything. Might as well just go have a good chicken dinner or something. All right, so let's get out of here. and hang out at the Flying J. Gonna take a shower and have a nice meal and relax a little bit. Especially since I got up this morning at 2 and left at 3. I am getting pretty tired even though I took a nap. You know, the funny thing we always talk about when it's so hot here in Phoenix, it's 98 degrees, but when I walk outside here, I'm not hot at all because I'm so used to being in Florida where, you know, it's so humid. I'm definitely hot there, but here I don't even sweat or anything. That doesn't mean I could sleep in my truck without idling, but it's nice not having that humidity. I got a new coat and I'm trying to keep it wrinkle free. I don't think I'll be needing it here since it's 98 degrees out there. But it can sit up there for now. Even though I wouldn't paint my truck lime green like that, that's a fine looking truck. I was gonna get a shower, but there were 8 people ahead of me, and I'm not gonna wait that long. I'll get a shower in the morning when everybody's asleep. We truckers get to see the most awesome freight. Just a part of our normal job. All right, we're back. Let's see if it's a hustling and bustling shipper and receiver this morning. Uh-oh. Still not a soul here. Well, hopefully they're inside. Hopefully they fix their problem and my trailer will be loaded and we can go. Well, the trailer's here and they're loading me. So we're gonna hook up and hopefully be on our way. Oh, they've put a cone in front, so I can't hook up. I was gonna hook up right now. I guess they don't allow that. So we'll just wait here, watching the sunrise. All right, it only took them a half hour to load. Well, a day and a half hour, but they're done, so we're gonna hook up now. the tug test. We're good. All right. We're going to pull forward and lock her up. They didn't tell me what to do. I'm just guessing. They didn't say go get the paperwork or that they would seal it, but I assume that's what I'm supposed to do. All right, we're good. Let's go get our paperwork, and we'll at least get some miles in today and tomorrow, and we're gonna have to ask them to make another appointment since they added on a whole day to this. They ended up being pretty nice in there. You know how some people have attitude? They didn't have any attitude, which helps. I think we'll stop at QT and get fuel, since theirs is usually the cheapest. According to my computer this morning, it is the cheapest, so we'll stop there and get fuel before we traverse the desert onwards to El Paso. By the way, this is a Schneider load I'm doing. I do those sometimes. And I work with a broker there named Tony. Really a good organization they have. Very understanding through this, and they don't, they pay detention, there's no problems. He responds. So I think that says a lot about Schneider brokerage. And I'm thankful for that. Because if you don't have good people to work with, then your job isn't a fun job. And I have to enjoy what I do in the day, otherwise I don't enjoy doing it. Promised, we're fueling here at QT in Phoenix, and Everything's torn up on 10 because they're redoing 10 along here. So I'm glad I'm not coming here for a while until the construction gets done. And a lot of it is they're putting in a new freeway going around the other side of South Mountain so that it will relieve the traffic on the other side of South Mountain. So it'll help, but until they get it done, it's miserable. All right, we're getting out of here. Got lots of fuel. And it's never a wise idea to get out that way at rush hour. So I always go around the back. No one lets you in there, that's why. No one lets you in this way either, but at least you have a light to turn against. This is only a 1,000-mile trip, so it's not really that far, but it's something to get out of the West, trying to get home. One thing I miss about being here in this neighborhood is that Port of Subs right there, and that's a cool place to get sandwiches here in Phoenix. Port of Subs. I'd say the closest thing to Port of Subs is Firehouse Subs, as far as being good. Something different. And we're getting out here. It's a miracle. Or as Oral Roberts used to say, it's a miracle. It's a miracle.
In 0.2 miles, take the entrance to the right on I-10 East. In 600 feet, take the entrance to the right on I-10 East.
See, I'll let this guy in. This is the spot where I said nobody ever lets anyone else in. Wow, he cut it pretty close there, didn't he? Just past Tucson on Interstate 10. It looks like someone took a pile of rocks, threw them up in the air, and they all landed all in one place, in a place called Texas Canyon. And that's where we are right now. I always consider this about halfway between Phoenix and El Paso. And it is. It's right around 200 and 200. So we are halfway to El Paso. on our trip this afternoon. The night that I went to Flying J, I went in and asked them if I could leave the trailer there for my break and what door could I put the trailer at so I wouldn't have to take the trailer to Flying J because there's never any parking there. And they told me the door to put it at and that I could come back in the morning and get my load and be on my way. Let's see what happens now. Well, you know, customers, I'm a little bit surprised right now. Customers are liars. It's, you know, we've been bashing brokers for so long. Some brokers are bad, but some aren't. In this case, the customers are saying last night that I could have picked up that load, even though they said that they had problems. They told the broker something completely different than what actually happened to you and I. So I wish I would were able to take a tape recorder in with me, but you really can't do that. I mean, we're still going to be paid for that layover and stuff, but that sucks. Now I've lost all hope in humanity, shippers and receivers and everyone, and I'm not going to let it ruin my day the second day in a row, so we'll just move on. But man, they were total liars. Anyway, let's get going. We're in Wilcox, Arizona, getting the chicken salad sandwich to take with us on the road. We have arrived in El Paso.
Approaching destination at 700 feet on the right side.
And actually, I'm going to just see if they have... I'm going to call here and see if they have showers available. If they don't, I'm going to go over to Flying J. We're on the west side of El Paso. A frequent stop for me. All right. The showers took an hour and a half just because there were 8 people ahead of me, so I'm ready to rest. Good night. We'll see you in the morning, bright and early. We'll make it the rest of the way into San Antonio. Well, we're going to be delayed. I got a sandwich when I left this morning to Love's, and it was rotten. I'm not sure what was wrong with it, but it's as hard as a rock. So we're having to stop again, which delays us 15 minutes. So, you know, every time you stop, it's 15 minutes. So we're going to stop here, get another sandwich, because I got to eat something going across the desert. So be right back. I'm pretty sure what happened to that sandwich is it froze because they come frozen, then it thawed out, and then it froze again, and then they unthawed it when they put it out, and that was the problem. I'm not sure about that, but every once in a while you get a bad one. And I wasn't hungry enough to eat a bad sandwich. Let's get going. What originally happened this morning when I woke up at the Loves, I woke up just like normal. I walk inside and a bus had stopped there, a bus from Mexico, according to the staff. And because I was going to go to McDonald's, get a sandwich to go, but when I saw that bus, I wasn't going to go in the McDonald's and wait in line for a half an hour. Even then, you know. So I grabbed that sandwich, and that's where we went wrong. That happened to me once at TA. I grabbed a chicken sandwich, and I normally don't open up the sandwich and look at it, but I did that time, and it was the patty had molded green. I have pictures of that. That was gross. Of course I didn't eat that. But it's a good thing I looked at it. So look at the food you're eating. Even though sometimes we as truckers, we're in such a hurry now because of the 14-hour clock. Look at the food that you're eating, because you don't want to eat green mold. I don't want to. Boy, that sheriff was in a hurry. He did not want to be behind me. And he passed me on the right. Like any good sheriff. Rolling out of Van Horn, Texas. Yet another frequent stop for me. A 140 miles into our trip this morning.
Turn right on Edward Street, US 90 in Manhattan. Turn right, 150 feet.
It's our first stop in our trip. Even though we had to take that emergency second stop because of the sandwich debacle. And if we decide to go all the way today, we'll get there at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. The reason I say that is because since we left a day late because of the problem with the shipper, they made a new appointment. So now we have oodles of time. So we're not under any kind of time restriction today, other than hours of service. We don't really have to be there until tomorrow, so we have time. But we still have to consider parking, you know, and where we're going to land tonight. So let's get rolling. Remember how earlier this year I had a mud flap that came off, and I was trying to describe to you how they get pinched off? Well, this is a perfect example. I just did it. I backed up, hit the curb, but I did not pinch off my mud flaps, but I could have. So I came back here to look, and this is a perfect scenario of how that could happen. So I guess a good truck driver doesn't back up and hit the curb. That's the key. And we got a sandwich rolling out of here. Well, we made it to San Antonio and they're unloading me right now. So thanks for riding along. It's been quite an adventure. Remember, trucking really is an adventure. I'm Indiana Jack. Don't forget to subscribe and like this page. I'd really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Ha 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 ha!